It starts with a feeling you can't quite name, a hush that's too heavy to be natural, a stillness that makes the air feel like it's holding its breath. The sky hangs pale and indecisive, as though morning hasn't found the courage to arrive. Mist folds itself around the hills like an unspoken secret, and down below, the Fraser homestead sits caught in that strange half-light. The barn's long shadows stretch thin over frost-kissed grass, while the fences seem to guard against the restless whisper of early winter. A distant bark cuts through the quiet, not alarmed, but affirming. Yes, the day has come. A lazy rooster follows, his call sharp but slow, drifting across the slopes. Inside, the big house is warm, scented with wood smoke and fresh coffee. Claire stands at the counter, both hands cradling her mug as if it's the only thing holding her to the moment. The wooden surface beneath her palms is smooth with history, each scratch and dent a quiet memory she could recall without trying. She doesn't drink. She just lets the heat seep into her skin while her gaze slides toward the window, where Jamie works in the yard. Sleeves rolled up, axe swinging in a steady rhythm she's known for years, a rhythm that speaks of strength without malice, resolve without violence. But this morning, there's a shift. Between the falls of the axe, a pause slips in, not from fatigue, but from awareness. His eyes flick, quick and subtle, toward the road. That road has carried friends, enemies, strangers, even ghosts. Today it carries hooves. Slow, deliberate, they drum the earth, not hurried, not meandering, the stride of someone who knows exactly when they'll arrive. A lone rider appears on the ridge, dark against the washed-out sky, and wastes no breath on greetings. He rides straight into the yard, reins in, and hands Jamie a sealed message. By now, Claire has stepped out onto the porch, one arm wrapped around her waist, the other holding her mug like a shield. She watches Jamie break the seal. His jaw stays firm, his expression steady, but his eyes betray it. A shadow passes there, swift as clouds dimming the sun. He doesn't speak. He doesn't have to. War isn't approaching. War has already arrived. That night, the house feels thinner somehow. Supper is eaten under the crackle of the fire and the weight of unsaid words. Later, in their room, Jamie and Claire sit side by side on the edge of the bed, their fingers intertwined, eyes fixed on nothing. Some truths settle better in silence. She studies his face in the candlelight. This man who has fought kings, armies, time itself for the people he loves, for her. And she knows that look. If the night ended there, it would be easier. But nights rarely end where they should. Miles away, in another place, another time, and yet the same. Brianna wakes with a start. The dream clings to her like cold water, the standing stones looming under a fading sky, Mandy's small hand resting on the largest one, hair tugged by a wind that doesn't blow so much as breathe. The air hums, not sound, but vibration, as though the earth itself is holding an ancient note. Between two stones, a shadow waits. Over breakfast, she tells Roger. He listens, silent, his spoon frozen halfway to his mouth. He doesn't say he's heard that hum too, not in dreams, but while awake. In those moments when the air feels too thick, the wind dies and birds fall quiet. By midday, they decide to walk the path, though they both know it's more than that. The trail winds damp and narrow under skeletal branches that scrape their sleeves. Step by step, the world dims, sound fades, and the air grows heavier. Then, they see them. The stones stand in their eternal ring, but the light bends oddly here. Shadows stretch the wrong way. The hum is no longer faint. It lives in their bones, prickling the skin at the back of their necks. Far off, Ian is tracking 3 cloaked figures through the forest. Their movements are sharp, purposeful, until they vanish at the river's bend. All that's left is a deep print in the mud and tied to a branch, a feather unlike any he's seen before. That evening, back at the homestead, Mandy sits by the fire with a sheet of paper and the fierce focus only children have. She draws the stones with uncanny precision. When Brianna looks, her stomach knots, because in the center of the circle, she's drawn a faceless figure, and it's staring straight out from the page. The days grow taut. Strangers arrive, saying little, but watching closely. The animals stir restlessly at night. Jamie wakes more than once with the feeling, not the sound, the feeling, of hooves pounding somewhere just out of sight. Still, life goes on. Fires are stoked, bread is broken, seeds are pressed into soil that feels older than the season suggests. But every glance, every pause, carries the same unspoken truth. This turning season isn't marked by sun or moon. It's older, and it will take something from them before it's done.